Hello, my loves, and welcome to another creative storytelling. With that said, let's get on with this. What story do we have for you today? Oh, caught in a bad romance. Pain. Overcoming a form of pain. All right, tell me about this Three of Swords. So this feels like someone needs to work on a form of self-actualization. This is like someone lying to themselves. They do it to themselves. This is like someone wanting to take no accountability for the role that they play in their own pain. This is like someone trying to play victim to the circumstance that they were a willing participant about. So someone is trying to play victim. They're trying to basically, they're lying to themselves. It's like, well, it's not fair or this and that. And it's like with the Eight of Pentacles to it all, it's like, no, 8-8, by the way, 8-8-8 with the 8 under the deck, the 8 of Wands under the deck. It's like, no, you can't, don't do that. Don't lie to yourself, face the truth here. You were a willing participant. You willingly gave to this. You willingly did this, did that, even though you knew what it was from the rip. Three of Swords to the Seven of Swords. Eight of Swords, this is like someone trying, no, I didn't know. See, I put a blindfold on. No, you did. Eight of Swords, it's a willingness. It's a willing card. To the Eight of Pentacles, you were a willing participant. You willingly gave to this, knowing damn well. So maybe someone was staying attached to some form of connection that they knew was no good for them, or they kept dealing with someone who they know wasn't great, right? It's like, no, but you're a willing participant, so you know. All right, so they were a willing participant to their own thing. All right, so what of this? Queen of Cups. The World card on it's not fully upside down. If someone's being honest with themselves, they didn't want something to be over because, they have a lot of emotion with that Queen of Cups. They had a lot of love for the situation or whomever. But at the same token, when you see and when you know something what it is, you can't deny what's going on in front of you. You can't deny what it is. And at what point do we say, well, we're a willing participant to whatever shit show? Yeah, see, Five of Swords. We do it to ourselves. Temperance. So even if someone was hurting them, lying to them, betraying them, cheating on them, whatever, right? And they want to play victim to the circumstances of this pain and stuff, this pain inevitably becomes self-inflicted because you're a willing participant to someone's deception and whatever that they're doing, because you stay around and accept them because a part of you doesn't want to let go. With that World card like that, there's a sense of our character, let's say, doesn't want to let go because they have a lot of love for the person. But at the same token, you can't get upset at the other person. The person's shown you who they are, right? They've shown our character who they are. And if you continue to, if one would choose to continue to entertain this and then they still continue to inflict pain, again, you have no one to blame but yourself at that point, because someone has shown our character who they are, and yet they continue to stay there and tolerate it. So at that point, they're putting the knife in their own heart. They're putting the knife in their own backs. Five of Swords, self-sabotage. They're doing it to themselves because they're choosing to stay there and continue to put themselves. They're a willing participant and willingly allowing this person to do these things to them, to hurt them, to lie, to cheat, whatever, It's like, I just don't know why they won't stop, because they are who they are. They are who they are. That's it. There's no stopping that. And when someone shows you who they are, you have to believe it. You can't wait for them to change. No. There's a hook from Ex-Girlfriend, no doubt. I found myself trying to change you. If you were meant to be my lover, then I wouldn't have to. And that's a very, very perfect lyric, because if someone is meant to be your person, then you won't have to, you shouldn't have to try to change them. Your person, you should accept them as is wholeheartedly, and vice versa. If there's things that you have to change, then that means that that person's not for you, right? But people try to force other people to be who and what they want them to be, because that is the nearest thing in sight. Like, think about it. Like, say if you want something and they don't have it at the store, you'll settle for something that's close to it, but it's not quite, right? And it's like, or you could just wait till that one thing, that particular thing comes, they have it again, and then you don't waste your money, right? Because you end up still going to get it anyway. All right, so where's this leading to? Someone's still holding on by a thread, holding on to a hopeless situation. It's like, maybe it's like, or maybe we should stop sacrificing ourselves and settling for less. So it feels like someone's gonna hold on to this energy until they realize it's time to stop settling for less. Okay. Tower. Ace of Pentacles, Five of Wands, the Tower. And then the Five of Wands is also repetition. You continue to do what you always got done. You'll continue to get what you always got, right? Rinse, ring, repeat. You keep doing the same thing. It's not healthy. It's not good for you. The Devil under the deck. If you want better, then you have to move differently. You have to make better choices. But old ways don't unlock new doors, right? Someone will get to a point where they get frustrated enough, where they get tired of their own shit. They get tired of sitting in this energy. 5-5, by the way. Five of Pentacles, Five of Wands. Where it inevitably comes to a point where it's like, all right, do we really want to stay here tied to this thing? Devil card, do we want to break free of this once and for all? With that Ace of Pentacles and that Tower bookending the Five of Wands, it feels like when someone finally gets pushed to the point where, you know, it's like a breakthrough moment, enough is enough, where they finally decide, I can't do this anymore, and they break free of the chains that bind to this person and the idea of them, that's when restructuring can really happen. You know, where you can build better. With that Ace of Pentacles, that is the seed to plant, to start a whole new foundation for ourselves with that Tower, because this isn't working, so this has to be destroyed, and you have to basically destroy this thing, let go of this whole thing, so this way you can, you know, move differently, build differently. All right, so how will things go after this? How will our character proceed to move forward after this? Wow. Queen of Swords, Knight of Swords, Page of Swords, King of Cups. Well, I tell you what, if they allowed their emotions to hold them to situations that were not the best, this person is elevating in that essence where they're learning healthy boundaries. Queen of Swords energy, Page of Swords to the Knight of Swords. This is someone who is learning to set healthy boundaries for themselves and be more mindful when it comes to their heart. King of Cups energy. Setting healthy boundaries, and the moment that something doesn't align, it's like, all right, well, we're not going to invest ourselves in this. We can already see this. This is someone who's learning to no longer look through rose-colored glasses. The Queen of Cups can look through rose-colored glasses, and we go from the Queen of Cups to the King of Cups and the Queen of Swords. So this is someone who's going to learn to use their own discernment, Page of Swords, Knight of Swords, and act accordingly. So it's like, not look through the potential lens, or, you know, the rose-colored lens, looking towards things at what they actually are, not what they could potentially, or, you know, hopefully be. But by doing that, that brings the form of change that they want in their life. Yeah, see, look, justice. So someone is learning. They're closing out a karmic cycle. They're learning to trust themselves, use their own discernment. The Justice card to the High Priestess, which brings in a much happier experience. By cutting out the things that we do not want, that's how we successfully get towards the things that we do want, including in connections, regardless of whatever the connections pertain to. I love it, I do. I am going to leave that there. With that said, my loves, that is your read.